AM 1340, FM 92.1, WCSR. Timeout with Andy Brown. Thrilled to have AJ Kegg from the Chargers with us tonight, live in studio. You beat Grand Valley, their first regular season loss in 4 or 5 years, and you get all of the accolades. And I don't know, maybe some people might have thought, well, there's going to be a letdown after that. And you finish the regular season winning the rest of your games, and you draw you draw an opportunity anyway to maybe get into the playoffs. We don't really know. And we fast forward now to the banquet, the postseason banquet on that Sunday. And we were going through the senior speeches, and I remember Brad Monestier came through the hall and whispered into Coach's ear and gave him a little card, and Coach went up to the lectern. And can you kind of take me to that moment when he revealed that you were going to get into the playoffs?
Well, we all had a good feeling that we were going to make it because, we have a lot of guys that calculate and all this stuff. And once I saw Coach Otter, kind of interrupt with a piece of paper in his hand, I had a good feeling. I was just getting ready. And when I first heard it that that we were the 6th spot in the region, I just stood up and screamed at the top of my lungs because I had no clue what else to do. I was just so happy.
I thought you were going to jump over the table.
Oh, yes.
Now, for people that haven't been there, you're up on risers and sitting at a table with your tuxedo on, and I literally thought you were going to jump into the crowd over the table. Because Hillsdale College had never qualified for the NCAA 2 playoffs. Never. It never happened in your group. Your senior class got it done.
Yeah, and we were the freshmen that walked in there when we were 4 and 7,
Yep.
4 and 7, 4 and 7 3 years before that, and just to see that turnaround in 4 years was just so gratifying.
And the other thing too, and it's just my perception. Obviously, I wasn't with you guys a lot, but it seemed like you guys genuinely like each other.
Oh yeah, we're all good buddies. Most of us are in the same fraternity.
Yeah.
We eat with each other every day. We hang out every day. It's just we're all best of friends.
We get on the airplane and we fly into Minnesota, and we're at the hotel, and we were getting ready to go to breakfast. And I think it was Lynn Newcomb, who said, "Now we don't talk at breakfast." And I was like, "What? We don't talk at breakfast?" So I get in there, and nobody's talking at breakfast. And it was all part of your routine before a game. Is that what you do before every game?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you have your small conversations, but we try not to be.
It's all business.
We try to be focused, ready to get to go and play some football.
So we get out to Minnesota. We get the day. Remember, in the rain, our little day to check out the field, and we were out there for 40 minutes or something like that. Kind of run around and check the field out. And it's weird because they have a huge stadium, but it's a natural grass field, and we're up in Minnesota and that kind of thing, and they've got a good running game, they've got a pretty good defense. Their secondary is the best in the country, supposedly, takeaways and that kind of thing, and plus they'd been in the playoffs the year before. Obviously, they were favored, and I thought, this is just me as a fan and a broadcaster, but I thought their coach said some kind of strange things before the game about how, well, we've got playoff experience and Hillsdale's never been here, and it's sort of not predicting that they were going to win, but indicating that, it was probably going to not be that difficult. And then the game started, and it was awesome. I mean, just as good as the Grand Valley game. What was it like to play in that ball game?
Well, none of us have experienced that atmosphere before, that playoff atmosphere, so it was definitely crazy, but it was great. They were a good football team, but I knew, well, we knew as a team that we were just going to win because we were just determined. We were on a mission that season, and our goal was to make the playoffs, last every year I've been here. So it was just like we almost belonged there, and we were ready to make a huge run, and it was just a great experience.
The thing that kills me too is just looking across the field and seeing all the people that came to Mankato from Hillsdale. I mean, we had a huge crowd.
Oh, we had and it was actually cool because you turn around and you see faces that you see every day at school, and they're just like, AJ! You're just like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I can't believe people drove 10 hours, just to support us. It shows you what kind of special place Hillsdale is.
You got the win. You win your first Hillsdale College's first Division II playoff game, and then you draw Grand Valley again, obviously. Otter, I thought, was pretty uptight that weekend before the game. He was all business and focused. After the game, got a couple of victory cigars down into his system and that kind of thing. And I've never seen him happier. I could just tell how happy he was for you kids.
Yeah, he was like our second father to to all of us. He always instilled since I've been here, instilled great values in us and ethics, and kept us in line for the most part. And it's like we're all his sons and stuff. And
he says that he has the best job in college football. He says he wouldn't leave there for anything because he knows you guys are going to go to class. Mm-hmm. He knows where you are. He knows he's got high caliber, high quality kids. I remember the first time I interviewed him, I said, "Coach, you can't recruit the lunkheads who have a .1 GPA
and they can run a 4.240.
Yeah, you can't get those guys here.
Yeah.
And are you concerned that that's going to be a disadvantage?" And he was really kind of harsh with me in a respect. He said, "What do you mean? That's an advantage. I get to coach the smartest kids around," and he's not just saying that. It's not just lip service. He believes that with all of his heart.
Oh, he does. He does, and he's done a great job recruiting these last few years.
You lose to Grand Valley in the playoff game, and it's tough to beat them. It's tough to beat them anywhere, but especially at their place. But even in that game, you look back at it, there were some opportunities in the first half that we weren't quite able to capitalize on, and that could have been a much closer ball game.
Oh, it could have. There's a few times where we made a long run, and we were within like the 20, and there was a few plays that we headed to the end zone we just didn't capitalize on, and I think it kind of took the wind out of our sails as a team. But we still, I'm proud of everyone.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't change anything.
Let's go to the off season now. Everybody knew that Jared was on the radar for a lot of people, and so the season's over. You guys are all still working out. You and Drew and Petro and of course Veldir. And let's just talk about Jared's experience for a second. You had a chance, I think, to go to his house during the draft.
We've been best friends ever since freshman year, and he got invited a few of his friends up to his house for the draft, and we're sitting there, and he was pretty nervous, sitting in his chair with it, both phones on his lap, his home and his cell, and his cell phone rings, and he almost didn't answer it because the team said that they were going to call his home first. He goes into another room, and his brother's kind of like listening in, and we thought it was either going to be the Chiefs because they were the pick, but their pick was in, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's the Raiders. And once Aaron walked in, his older brother, he goes, "Jared's a Raider." We just all jumped for joy. It's probably almost got all lightheaded like I did when I found out when we were going to the playoffs. It was just that exciting.
I've met Jared a few times. I don't know him well, but he seems like a genuinely cool kid. And to